a symbol of honesty, creativity, and excellence. This is the Wrestling Takeover Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Turner, and we're going to talk about the state of the WWE. We got a lot to get to. We're going to talk about Clash in Paris, Jaida Parker, among other great topics. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Spread the word. Let's get into it.
Welcome to...
You're listening to the Wrestling Takeover.
What is your name?
With your host, Jordan Turner, who's always going to keep it real.
Come on, King.
Inside and outside the ring.
Let me make myself clear. He's got the fans behind him, King.
It's time to take over, King.
Are you ready? He's all fired up now, King. The Takeover.
Let's go.
A symbol of excellence, honesty, and creativity. How is everybody doing? Welcome back to another edition of the Wrestling Takeover Podcast, the most creative and honest podcast within the wrestling community, man. How is everybody doing? Thank you guys for once again for joining me. This is going to be a pretty good state of the WWE casual conversation. There's a lot that I want to talk to you guys about. We're going to talk about Clash in Paris, preview predictions. I'm just going to run down the card. There's only 5 matches, and I'm going to break everything down, give you guys my honest perspective on them. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to open today's podcast video conversation with that. We're also going to be talking about Ricky Starks. We're going to talk about Ricky Starks, and should he be the guy to dethrone Obafemi? If not Ricky Starks, who should it be? We're going to talk about Jordynne Grace and why I feel her time might be over. And if that's the case, is she going to go up to the main roster? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Jaida Parker. This has been a interesting conversation throughout the wrestling space regarding Jaida Parker, her time in NXT, what's going on, why hasn't she won any titles? We're going to break it down. I have a audio clip on TikTok. If TikTok can please let me respond to them without a copyright. We're going to try it again. We're going to see how that goes. What's going on with Roman Reigns? I've been detailing Roman Reigns' position right now in the WWE, why I'm really not feeling his direction right now. What's going on? Can it improve? We're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about also Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. Now, I personally feel like Monday Night Raw and SmackDown are not must-watch anymore. I personally feel like you can miss a Raw, you can miss a SmackDown, and you'll be perfectly fine. Like, you could just go on social media, see what it is, and move on with it. But I'm going to break that down. I'm going to talk about Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, what's missing, what's my thoughts and opinions on it. We're going to break that down. And then I'm also going to be responding to another TikTok video talking about 3 men who this individual sees defeating Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight title. I'm going to give you guys my opinions on that, but we're going to start things off about Clash in Paris. Now, Clash in Paris is a show that's coming up this weekend, and there's 5 matches on the card. There's only 5. And I know a lot of people have been giving their 2 cents in. Why is there only 5 matches? Why is there only 4 matches? Why aren't there 6? Why aren't there 7? Why aren't there 8? So on and so forth. I don't know what Triple H's motto is anymore. Because, if I had to guess what it is, this is just from my point of view. I'm just talking to you guys. I have no news sources, none of that. I feel with a Clash in Paris and these, I would say, B-level Premier Live events, I think Triple H is going to obviously give us 5 matches. But when it comes to a SummerSlam, when it comes to, one of the big pay-per-views. Now, I personally feel like for War Games and Royal Rumble and even Elimination Chamber, y'all got to understand that You don't really need a lot of those matches on a Premier Live event. Let me take the Royal Rumble, for example. You have 2 Royal Rumble matches. Why do you need an extra 5 matches on the card when everyone, for the most part, is going to be involved in the men's and women's Royal Rumble? You understand? So, from my POV, that doesn't make any sense. Same with the Elimination Chamber. If people are going to be competing in the women's and men's Elimination Chamber, the undercard, you really don't need a lot of matches. Same with the Money in the Bank. It's the same concept for Money in the Bank. We got the men's and women's Money in the Bank. The undercard can be, a couple matches. You don't need a lot because everyone is anticipating the women's and men's Money in the Bank, the men's and women's War Games match, the men's and women's Royal Rumble, the men's and women's Elimination Chamber. You don't need a lot of matches in the undercard. But a Premier Live event like Clash in Paris, for me personally, we need, you feel me? We need a couple more pay-per-views. And I feel Triple H has done a poor job in assessing. But I also understand where he's coming from in terms of, we don't really need a lot of these pay-per-view matches, on a Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, those type of that already have stipulations on them. We don't need a lot of matches because people are investing in the Money in the Bank, the Royal Rumble, the Elimination Chamber. You know what I mean? The War Games, But this is totally understandable why people are upset as to why there's 5. It's the motto that Triple H has been applying with over the years, and it is what it is. I feel personally as this card, it's fine. The card's fine for what it is. Here's the problem. And I feel this is why people, I feel this is why people, and I'm going to get to the card, but I'm going to give you my preview predictions for the card, but I really want to psychoanalyze this conversation that, people are having more and more throughout the wrestling realm and throughout the wrestling community. Where's Julia? I'm going to kind of rant. Right now, I rarely rant. And when I do rant, I always say, take caution. Viewer discretion is advised with what I'm about to say. Because I don't like to scream. I don't like to holler and, go batshit crazy. As a content creator, I don't need to do that. It's professional wrestling, right? We love it. But it's not that serious. It's really, really not. Now, there are moments, let's not get it confused. There are moments where the screaming is justified, determining like an outcome, a breaking news, something crazy, understandable. But what I'm getting at is, where's Julia? Julia is the Women's United States Champion, and she's not on the Premier Live event. Now, I have been one of those fans that have been pushing that, you need to build up a Raw, you need to build up a SmackDown to be important as if you're building up a Premier Live event. I still stand on that belief. I genuinely feel that way. You definitely need to build up a Raw, SmackDown, because these shows are not exciting anymore. These shows are not must-see. I'll break that down when I talk about Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown in a different, topic of conversation. But with Julia, why is she not on here? WWE has done a poor job in presenting Julia as the Women's United States Champion. You hear all of these theories. Oh, Triple H might not be a fan of Julia anymore. He clearly might not be a fan because Julia is not being pushed properly. Why is Nikki Bella on the card and Julia is not? I have a personal problem. For me, I'm more mad that the Women's United States Championship is not being prevalent like the women's IC title. That's my problem. That's my frustration. Nikki Bella, I'm a fan of her. And I'm happy she's on the card, getting an opportunity. That's cool. I'm not worried about that. I think Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella are going to tear the house down. They have an opportunity to do so. Let's see what these ladies can do. But I'm going to be transparent. I don't give a fuck that Nikki Bella is on the card. That's not my frustration. You look at Becky Lynch in the women's IC title. You know, I'm going to give you guys the 411. I'm going to give you guys the real talk, the honest opinion. We got to be honest. And I'm always honest on my podcast. I am always honest on my podcast. Because if I'm not honest, then I feel like I'm disappointing you guys. You guys expect honesty. You expect that creativity. You expect to listen to somebody that brings in the knowledge, the creativity, and most importantly, the honesty with what he watches, with what he feels is good and bad and indifferent. WWE is telling you we care about the women's intercontinental title. You want to know why? Who's holding that title? That's Becky Lynch, one of the greatest of all time. One of the world-around respected veterans in the game. She's a GOAT. We love Becky Lynch. WWE is going to put the time, effort, and preparation into Becky Lynch and her IC title run. I think Becky Lynch has been doing a great job so far. I'm a fan. But what about the Women's United States title? What about that champion? She's got to eat too. WWE's being favoritism. I expect that. I don't expect nothing more. But it's just the disrespect that I feel personally that is not being talked about a lot within the community. If it's on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, if you're a podcaster out there, I haven't really heard anybody really talk about Julia. Why is Julia being disrespected? So if nobody's going to do it, I'm going to do it. Right here on the Wrestling Takeover podcast. What's wrong with Julia? Why isn't she in a prominent position? Why isn't she in a prominent role defending the Women's United States title? They don't think she's bigger enough. That's the truth. Y'all want the truth? Y'all come here. Y'all want the real talk? Y'all come here. Trust me. Trust me, man. I might be wrong. I might be talking out of my ass. You guys are probably listening to me like, Jordan, you're going a little too far. You're just conspiracy. To me, it's not conspiracy. She's not a bigger star than a Becky Lynch. She's the Women's United States champion, yes, but she's not a bigger star than Becky Lynch. Let's get that straight. And I love Julia. I was so happy that Julia came to WWE. I see the aura. I see the presence. I see it. The future is bright for Julia. But Triple H is always going to pick his favorites. And that's just something that people need to understand that. Respectfully, right? So I'm frustrated about Julia not being on this show. What about the SmackDown Tag Team Champions? Why aren't they on this show? Where's their story? Now they're doing stuff on SmackDown. True. Julia is doing stuff on SmackDown. That is true. That is true. And again, I've said it. You build up Raw and SmackDown as if you're building up a pay-per-view. My problem is Julia has not defended on a Premier Live event, and we really haven't seen the SmackDown Tag Team titles just consistently being presented on a Premier Live event. I think SummerSlam was the first time in months that I can think of that we've seen them defend the titles. This is some real talk. This is some real talk. And if we were face-to-face, I'll say the same things face-to-face. People want to listen to somebody that is organic. They want to listen to someone that's real. They can tell right away if you want some fake shit. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not in that fake category. You're getting nothing fake on the Wrestling Takeover podcast. I'll tell you that right now. All right? But Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella, I'm excited for it. Getting into the card now, I'm excited for it. I think they could put on a banger of a match, a really, really great match. Let me change my verbiage right there. I feel like Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella can really deliver a good quality women's intercontinental title match. Because let's be real, the intercontinental title always delivers great matches. Always. And Becky Lynch has been killing it. Shout out to Rebecca Quinn. Killing the game right now. I think that match can do wonders. I think this is a big test for Nikki Bella, honestly, from the perspective of, all right, let's see what she got. Let's see what she could do in a one-on-one match. The build-up has been very disappointing. I feel like these two ladies have not been given the proper amount of time to tell their side of the story. They really haven't been getting great material. And so that's disappointing, but I think both ladies are going to kill it on Sunday morning. I can't wait to watch it. I'm a fan, but I think at the end of the day, Becky Lynch is going to win this match, and she is going to retain the women's IC title. Now, you look at it. This is where we're going to get rocky, and this is where we got to be real with one another. Who does Becky Lynch drop the women's IC title to? I personally believe that it should be Becky Lynch and or Lyra Valkyria. Now, Lyra Valkyria is an interesting proposition because we've seen both ladies face each other several times now. They faced off 3 times already. Their first 2 matches were instant classics. Their third match, very disappointing. Very disappointing. It's their weakest match of the series. I was thinking in my creative vision, in my creative mindset, let me know how you guys are feeling about this idea. Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria, one more time, title versus career. Let's say Becky Lynch's last match is with Lyra Valkyria. She loses and she retires. That's something that I was thinking about. That's something that I was kind of contemplating. That could be a potential move. But I think Bayley might be the best bet. I want to see an actual rivalry between Bayley and Becky Lynch, with Bayley's vindictive, just, mind voices in her head. I need to see something like that with Bayley. And I think Bayley winning the women's intercontinental title and then feuding with Lyra Valkyria might be the best bet. It might be the best bet here. But I'm going with Becky Lynch. I think she's going to retain, but I think they need to go with Bayley and Becky Lynch after, whenever they get done with Nikki Bella. And I do hope Nikki Bella sticks around. But we're going to find out on Sunday to see if she really should stick around from an in-ring capacity standpoint. Let's talk about Sheamus and Rusev. I love saying that like that. Rusev. This is going to be a fight. It's going to be a fight. And I think the feud has been pretty good. I think it's been pretty good. I'm not sure if they're in a stipulation match of sorts. I might be wrong. They might be in a stipulation. But even if they are, I think this feud has been fine. I like that Rusev has been pushed and have direction. Aleister Black. These two men are finally getting some direction in the WWE. I think both men can be in contention to challenge for the Intercontinental title sometime down the line this year, if not next year. I think WWE needs to go with that story with Sheamus. And I think the story with Sheamus needs to be, he needs to get that triple crown. He needs to win that Grand Slam title, winning the IC title. But I think this feud's been fine. Honestly, it hasn't been the best. If Rusev loses, I don't think it really does much for him. If Sheamus loses, it doesn't really do much for him either. So I'm kind of conflicted. I think either guy that loses is going to be just fine. But if I have to pick, I'm going to go with Rusev. I think Rusev, I feel like he does need to win a little bit more than Sheamus. You need to really reestablish Rusev as a big deal, as a big monster. And him beating Sheamus, I think would be pretty cool. I would love to even see this as another idea that I just came up with as I'm recording. We could see a series of matches between the two guys, and then at the end of the day, they come together, form a tag team, and become a tag team. But the thing is, you don't want to just makeshift tag teams. But here's the catch. They have been a tag team before. With the Legion, forgot their name, something Legion with Wade Barrett. Those three guys, they were a trio. And we've seen tag teams with Sheamus and Rusev and Wade Barrett with Sheamus. So we've seen it, but we'll see. But I'm going to go with Rusev. I think he's going to get the win. John Cena and Logan Paul. This is a controversial match because you either like it or you don't. Personally, this doesn't do anything for me. This really does not do nothing for me. John Cena needs to get his win back in terms of getting momentum back. He's going to beat Logan Paul. Logan Paul is going to lose this match, and we're going to respectfully move on. John Cena is winning this match. Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed. I think this match is going to be great. This would be a big win for Bronson Reed. If he could beat Roman Reigns, it would be a massive win for Bronson Reed if we can go one-on-one and defeat, if he could defeat Roman Reigns. I really think it'd be good. And I honestly do believe that Roman is going to get the win and he's going to get his sneakers back. But if Bronson Reed can put out a big performance, it's clear that WWE is saving Braun Breaker and Roman Reigns for somewhere down the line next year. Do not be surprised. I'm just telling you right now. I have no news report, nothing. Do not be surprised if we get Roman Reigns versus Braun Breaker at WrestleMania 42. I'm just saying. You heard it right here on the Wrestling Takeover podcast with your host, Jordan Turner. Do not be surprised if we get Roman Reigns versus Braun Breaker at WrestleMania 42. Because they could have done it here. They didn't do it. We might get it later in the year, for sure. We definitely could. But I seen a rumor a couple weeks ago that they were saying that Braun Breaker and Roman Reigns should be saved for a WrestleMania. So I wouldn't be surprised. Bronson Reed, he just needs to have a show-stealing performance because I think he could be a big deal. He's been more of a third wheel in the faction with Seth Rollins, quite frankly. But I love that he now is having a story of a character. And he's taking people's sneakers. I think they could do something with that. It's simple. It's pretty basic. Might be boring to some, but they have a character. And I could, respect that. So, but Roman Reigns is going to get this win. Now, I'm going to talk about Roman Reigns later on in another topic because I'm going to just keep it like this. So, Roman Reigns, I see getting the win against Bronson Reed. Let's talk about the Fatal 4-Way. Seth Rollins and CM Punk, LA Knight, and Jey Uso. Jey Uso undoubtedly is eating the pinfall. He is not winning the World Heavyweight title. Seth Rollins is going to win this match. CM Punk and Seth Rollins, if it was me, I'm booking them in a Hell in a Cell match. I don't know when Bad Blood is going to take place or if not at all. Wazapalooza or whatever, WrestlePalooza is taking place in September. Do not be surprised if we get Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. And if we do, and Bad Blood is happening in October, which I believe it is, we get that match with Punk and Rollins, and then the second match is inside Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood. I have mentioned that on multiple occasions. So I think Seth Rollins and CM Punk are going to cancel each other out. Jey Uso is going to eat the pin. Seth Rollins is retaining this title, by the way. LA Knight is just there. He has no direction, let's be honest. But he has history with Seth Rollins and CM Punk. So they all kind of have history with one another. So this does make sense. I think it's going to be great. It's going to be the main event, of course. And I see Seth Rollins retaining the World Heavyweight title. No need to take the title off him. So Seth Rollins, John Cena, Roman Reigns, Becky Lynch, and Rusev, I see getting the win this upcoming weekend at Clash in Paris. Let me know how y'all feeling about it. We got to talk about Jaida Parker, Miss Parker herself. I am a massive fan of Jaida Parker. The potential is there. I'm going to play a TikTok video. Now, I hope it goes through. Please, I'm not trying to get copyrighted. I love reacting to TikTok videos. It just gives me another conversation to talk about, another topic to talk about. Jaida Parker, you know what? I'm going to play the clip, and then I'm going to respond to it. So let's check this out. Hold on 1 second.
I really don't understand the purpose of Jaida Parker continuing to say, I got next, when every time she's given an opportunity, they always have her go out there and lose.
I'm going to break this down one by one, actually. That I completely agree with. And I know people are going to be like, oh, well, she's very young. I feel you, gang. I feel you. But I got to understand, this woman constantly goes out and challenges for title matches and loses. That's a little frustrating, especially if you're a Jaida Parker fan. I'm not tripping, but it's just a little annoying. And I want to make this claim before I move on with the clip. I get it. I understand that Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss did not win any titles in NXT. I get it. And they are some of the greatest of all time. I totally understand that. Okay? So, y'all don't have to come at me with that in the comments. But please comment on every video. I really want to get that engagement going. So if you guys can please comment down below on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, first and foremost. YouTube.com/JTTakeover. Turn on all notifications, man. Turn on all notifications so you guys do not miss any upcoming video conversation, audio conversation on the Wrestling Takeover podcast. But lastly, listen, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair, I understand they never won a title, and they are some of the greatest of all time. But just, it's frustrating because she's always in title matches. That's my frustration. She's always in title matches, one way or another, or at least in number one contenders matches, and is always losing. So you guys got to understand where I'm coming from and many other people, like Athene and her frustration. But let's continue. Please don't copyright me, TikTok, please. Shout out to Athene. I am reacting to your video on YouTube, and hopefully you appreciate it.
Time. I don't understand what NXT's deal is with Jaida Parker, but she clearly has the mic skills, the in-ring work, the charisma, the look. She's extremely over, but none of it.
Completely agree. She's over. So there's really not much to add. Completely agree with her on that, but something's wrong. I don't know what it is. Maybe they don't trust her in the main event scene. I call cap on that. Very good-looking, beautiful woman is Jaida Parker. Very talented, man, and I want the best for her. I want the world for Jaida Parker. You know how you have women's wrestlers, male wrestlers, whatever, but women's wrestlers in particular that you're really a fan of and you really want to see do well. I want everybody to do well, so I want to get that out the way. I want everybody to do well, but you always have your, like your favorites. You feel me? And you really want to see them do well. You really want to see them win championships, be in legendary rivalries, be in legendary stories, legendary matches, legendary promos, and you want them to do well. But it seems like management, something is holding them back. I don't know what it is, that they don't trust them to win titles. I don't know. I might be talking out of my ass on that one, but as a Jada Parker fan, it's definitely a little frustrating.
Cultivates into anything. I'm extremely lost. And for all people love to say, oh, the hate is only online. They say that for a lot of their.
The hate. People hating on Jada Parker? What you hating on Jada Parker for? If y'all niggas out there hating on Jada Parker, man, y'all gotta stop, bro. I don't know what you guys would hate on Jada Parker for. I really don't. This isn't just me, a fan. I'm genuinely being honest with you guys. Like, why are you guys hating on Jada Parker? She didn't do nothing.
My favorite wrestlers, For Jada Parker, same thing, because, a lot of people don't like this girl, but you can't deny her.
I don't know why they don't like her. I genuinely don't understand why y'all don't like Jada Parker. Oh, she's too ghetto? She's too ghetto for y'all? Get out of here with that mess, bro.
Talent. The hate is.
And then y'all want to take the culture. The fuck out of here. If you know, you know what I just said there. Y'all want to make fun of the culture and take the culture and say we created it. Get out of here with that noise, bro.
It's only online because they're always chanting, Miss Parker, Miss Parker, Miss Parker.
They always chanting Miss Parker. Exactly. The NXT faithful are always chanting Miss Parker. Also, but number two, no, there's people online that are fans of Jada Parker. It's just that the fan base that don't like her are a minority, but they're very loud. Y'all have no room to really stand on in terms of, I don't like Jada Parker. Why don't you like Jada Parker? What's the deal? What? She's not good in the ring? I'm going to be transparent. With the people that say, oh, she's not good in the ring, I think y'all are just finding grapes at this point. Y'all are just finding stuff to complain about.
Parker. Y'all hear that. You do hear that. But y'all always hating all the time.
Right.
But it's just so crazy. Jada Parker is getting fumbled badly. The fact that she hasn't even won, not even North American Championship, is actually crazy. Diabolical.
Yep.
And can't even win NXT Championship too as well. Also diabolical. They're fumbling her badly, man. It's just, like, I don't know, man. Someone as this good as Jada Parker, she shouldn't be getting this type of treatment, to be honest.
It is ridiculous. I'm going to end it with that. It's so funny, too. Y'all got to understand something, bro. That's why my mentality and other people's mentality is just different. She's being used. Yes, I understand she's being used. So why are you complaining? Well, like I said, she's always in title opportunities and title matches as well, and never wins the title. Why is that? Also, just to clarify the hate that's going on with Jada Parker. Jada Parker is really likable. Really, really likable. She's very gifted, very talented. Our frustration is she's being used. True, she is being used. I'm happy she's being used, but I want more. As a fan, I want more for her. I see the potential. Shawn Michaels, if you see the potential, homie, come on, bro. Give her a title. Do y'all not trust her? Y'all don't even trust her with the NXT North American title. We're going to get into a controversial conversation in a little bit. But the Jada Parker thing is odd to me. It is what it is. I don't know. I really don't know. The hate for her is just very strange to me. Let's talk about Ricky Starks. I'm going to make this kind of quick. It's not going to be a long, topic. Ricky Starks, I feel, is the guy. They are presenting him as the next guy up. There are people online that are saying that Obafemi should not lose to nobody. I completely agree with y'all now. He should not lose to Ricky Starks. I really believe he should not lose to Ricky Starks. But if he is going to lose to somebody, it should be Ricky Starks. But I would not advocate for Obafemi to lose the title. I feel he should go undefeated. And I feel that Ava should tell Obafemi, man, you've done everything in NXT. I think it's time for you to go up to the main roster. He relinquishes the title. We get a tournament. Ricky Starks, he eventually wins the NXT World title. That's how I feel that they should go. But if they actually are going to have somebody beat Obafemi, Ricky Starks might be the best bet. He confronted Obafemi after NXT Heatwave, so that is interesting. I'm curious to see how that's going to go, how that's going to transpire. Is Ricky Starks the guy to beat Obafemi? Or should Obafemi just go undefeated and just relinquish the title and they do like a tournament and Ricky Starks is ultimately crowned as the new champ? I don't know. I'm curious to to hear what you guys have to say about that. So let me know how you guys are feeling about it. We got to get into this controversial conversation. Not all of black people are in WWE on the main roster that are being pushed. Let me make that perfectly clear. I've seen it on TikTok. I've seen it on YouTube. I have seen it. Seen it on social media too. The women are a priority. The black women in WWE, they're a priority. Great. I love it. But what about the men? Oh, they don't have a lot of them. Okay, that is a good point. They don't. But guess what? WWE has them. WWE has them. Shawn Michaels has been booking black male wrestlers very well on NXT. Triple H, on the other hand, respectfully, it's not looking good. It is not looking good. I'm going to go down the list right now, just in my own mind. Who are the black male wrestlers that actually can make change and can be a big-time superstar in the WWE on the main roster? Obafemi, Javon Evans, Montez Ford, Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes. Ladies and gentlemen, that is 5 people. That is 5 people. The women, there's a lot. There's too many. I'm not going down that conversation. I'm strictly talking about the African American men. Ricky Starks, he is black. True. So I could put Ricky Starks there too. So that's Ricky Starks. That's what, 5 or 6 people? That's it? You don't trust one of them to be a big-time superstar? I think all of them can be a big-time superstar if given the proper opportunity. You know, I feel Triple H's mindset is he might not trust some of these black wrestlers, the black men. He might not trust them. He might, just wrestling in general, not just them, but just wrestling. The white man's got to be in charge. He's got to be the face. Roman's not white. He's Samoan and black. So we can't use that as an excuse. And I'm not using that as an excuse. The fact is, there is not a lot of black African American men in WWE on the main roster that Triple H trusts. You don't trust Carmelo Hayes. You don't trust a Montez Ford. You don't trust them. Obafemi, Trick Williams, Javon Evans might be our only hope. Real talk. If y'all don't want to hear the real talk, respectfully, you can go listen to somebody else. I'm not being biased. I'm being truthful. I'm being open to you guys. I'm looking at what I'm seeing. Okay? And it is a conversation that has been had here and there, but I'm here to really have that conversation. It's bothersome It's really bothersome. People are going to be like, oh, Roman Reigns is happy. First of all, he's not African American, okay? He's Samoan and black, true. He has some black culture in there. But I'm talking about African American, like my skin color. We don't have that guy. We do not have that guy. We got the women. I ain't worried about that. That's great for them. They have more of those than we do with the men. That's frustrating from a male counterpart perspective. And you look at Carmelo Hayes, you look at a Montez Ford, you look at a Trick Williams, Obafemi, Javon Evans, Ricky Starks. It's our only hope. That's all we got. I'm just a little frustrated about that. That's kind of what I wanted to vent on here. I know this might be the most controversial topic throughout everything today. Hopefully you guys just understand where I'm coming from. And hopefully everybody understands where a lot of, black wrestling WWE fans are coming from. It's just frustrating right now, especially from the male counterparts perspective. We don't have a lot of guys. It is what it is, and it's the truth. Don't run away from it. Don't shy away from it. Bring up the conversation. Roman Reigns, what's going on with Roman Reigns, man? What is going on with Roman Reigns? The stories of Roman Reigns right now, man, it's very frustrating. I feel like Roman Reigns is there. He's got the aura, man. He's got the aura. He's got the crowd reaction, everything. The stories that Roman Reigns is a part of, man, I mean, they're not 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023 Roman Reigns stories. They're not. It's pretty much dumbed down, and it's incredibly frustrating. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what happened. If he's got to go side with Paul Heyman back, please go do that. Please go do that, because I'm trying to pick the right word. I am interested, but I'm not all that interested in what's going on with Roman Reigns for the most part. The feud with Bronson Reed, I like it. It's getting Bronson Reed over as a beast. So I love it. From that perspective, I'm a fan. But everything else is just, it's like Roman comes and goes. That's frustrating. He comes and goes. There's no merit. There's no just that story with Roman Reigns. That's what we expect. That's what we expect from Roman Reigns is, what's that storyline? We ain't getting it so far, and it's incredibly frustrating. I don't know where Roman Reigns is going to go after this. I have no idea. I really don't. And it seems like that's been a common theme with Roman Reigns since he returned. We just don't know what to do with him. I don't understand how you don't know what to do with Roman Reigns, but it just seems like he's just miscast right now from a storytelling perspective. He's miscast. We'll see, but it's a little frustrating for sure. I want to talk about, you know what? I'm going to end it. And I want to talk about something that I wanted to get off my chest. I was going to talk about it in the beginning, but as I was talking to you guys, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to talk about it now. This has to do with my fandom, with the WWE product alone, specifically, but pro wrestling in general. WWE has not been must-see to me. I have not wanted to come up here, talk about it on the podcast. I haven't. I'm being transparent with each and every one of y'all. I love each and every one of you guys. For the people that do listen to my show, man, it really means the world. I know there's not a lot that listen. I wish there was more people that listen to the Wrestling Takeover podcast. I try to bring the realness. I try to bring the creativity. I try to bring the fun. You know what I mean? I'm a funny dude. Man. I really try to bring the fun in pro wrestling, not try to make everything so serious. I feel wrestling is missing that fun, and we're not kind of getting it. I just haven't been that enthused with what's going on with the WWE product that I'm contemplating just taking a break completely from the podcast game, from the podcast scene, from WWE in general after Clash in Paris. But I don't think that's smart. I feel like God was talking to me and letting me know, like, yo, don't do that. That's not smart. You know what I mean? And even if I did take a break and not do a podcast, my ears would still be to the ground. I'd still be aware of what's going on. You know what I mean? I'll still be able to keep up with it. But it's just Monday Night Raw is just I'm not that enthused. SmackDown is unwatchable. So I've been kind of cutting back on the weekly reviews. You guys just haven't gotten them. I don't want to do them. That's just the truth. I don't want to do them. That's why I always make up topics that I want to talk about, separately that I don't want to talk about on the state of WWE. I want to keep the state of the WWE formatted exactly what I want to talk about on the podcast. And separate, topics, I'll just talk about in a separate video. So I'm going to do more of those. I'm going to start doing more of those, of course. But I really want to be consistent with the state of the WWE. If I'm not consistent with Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, I damn sure want to be consistent with the state of the WWE. This is a WWE-based podcast, guys. I do not talk AEW and TNA as much. I don't. This is a WWE-based podcast. So we're talking all things WWE because everybody watches it. I do keep up with AEW. I know what's going on. I do. Trust me. But I feel something's missing. My excitement just isn't there to get up and do a podcast. It's not there to sit down and be like, all right, I'm about to watch Monday Night Raw. I'm about to watch SmackDown. I'm about to watch NXT. Let's do it. AEW, I'm about to sit down and watch Dynamite. It's not there. It's not there, and I want to be completely transparent with each and every one of y'all. It's not there, especially with WWE. There's things that are good, and then there's things that I'm just not into at all. I'm contemplating. I'm going to let you guys know on social media. If you guys follow me on Instagram at The Wrestling Takeover and at JT Takeover on Twitter. I'm going to let you guys know if I'm going to take a break from the WWE product, if I am or if I'm not. I don't think I should. Like I said, God was talking to me, letting me know, like, I don't think that's a good idea. But I still want to think about it because I'm just not into what's going on with WWE right now. I'm really just not. And I hope you guys understand that. I'm still going to be here, if I do take a break. I'll still do a podcast. It's just not going to be as much. I don't do a lot to begin with anyway because I replace Raw and SmackDown with other topics that I want to talk about. But if I could just put out 2 podcasts per week with the state of the WWE and just a topic that I want to talk about pertaining to the WWE product in a separate video, then I'm going to definitely do that. But it's just something's messing with WWE right now, and I'm just not interested in what's going on for the most part. I'm rambling, I'm talking. I like doing that. I want to keep the format. But, ladies and gentlemen, I really thank you guys. To those who listen to the Wrestling Takeover podcast, thank you. I am on YouTube, you guys. I am on YouTube. If you don't want to listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, and you want to listen to it on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, y'all. Subscribe to the channel. Best audio conversations on a weekly basis pertaining to the WWE product is the Wrestling Takeover podcast. Subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/JT Takeover. Also, follow me on social media on Twitter at JT Takeover and on Instagram at The Wrestling Takeover, man. Peace and blessings to each and every one of y'all, man. Listen, it's just pro wrestling at the end of the day, but sometimes people do get fatigued. People do get exhausted. I'm kind of hitting my limit on that right now. I'm still undecided on what I'm going to do, but a decision is definitely coming within the next coming days. So keep up with me on social media. I will be announcing what I'm going to be doing. And if I do take a break, I still will be up here talking about the state of the WWE. I'm just not going to be a little bit more consistent as I typically am already. But yeah, peace and blessings to y'all, man. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video/episode. And like I said, spread the word of the Wrestling Takeover podcast. Please spread the word. Word of mouth definitely goes a long way. Hit that notification. Hit that follow. Hit that subscribe button. And like I said, spread the word of the Wrestling Takeover podcast.